where all the cool kids go. The friendly info will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Shadows, t-shirts, weather tees, and so much more. Lights on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave. Your friendly info will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Candles, t-shirts, weather tees, and so much more. Deadites on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave.
Lucky iris, no rainbows, no pots of gold, only horror. Murders, devilish creatures, zombies galore. Lucky iris, no rainbows, no pots of gold, only terror.
Howdy, gang. I think I finally fixed it where I'll show up big originally. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But happy St. Patrick's Day, folks. We got about another hour before it moves on from St. Patrick's Day. So I'm getting this in just under the wire. I had to rewatch one movie and watch two movies fresh for this, so I wouldn't sound like I was talking out of the side of my mouth as I discuss these three films and review them for you. I hope y'all enjoyed the Unlucky Irish song that I created real quickly before this stream. It was actually a lot longer, but I kind of cut it a little bit so it wouldn't be so long for this intro. Hey, Greg. I'm doing pretty well. I hope you're doing well, as always. And before we get into these three films tonight, I am going to announce the results of the poll for the next watch along films that will be happening this weekend, March 22nd and 23rd. I think I'm going to try the 9 o'clock time slot again, and see how it goes this time. But the winners, Saturday's movie will be Terror at 10 Killer, chosen by you folks, you fine folks out there that all voted. And Sunday's movie will be Pieces, a fan favorite of many horror fans. And those will both be starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday and Sunday. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten the Soup and Jallows up yet. I filmed the short, but I don't have it up just yet. Hopefully, I'll have that up soon. I'm hoping to have another Dick's Picks tomorrow. Planning on having the rescheduled Cannon Fodder on Wednesday. And Thursday, as always, hey, Menelette. Thursday, as always, will be They're All Messed Up. I'll be talking about a couple more slasher films. And hopefully Friday, me and Candace will return with another Friday Foolish episode for you folks. And then, of course, the weekend's going to be full of watch alongs. Um, so, little update on movie roulette. You can still give a $5 or more super chat during any live streams. That includes watch alongs. And you get to pick any movie of your choosing for me to do a review on. I know I've been told that's a dangerous game to play, but I thought it would be fun. I thought it'd be fun for everybody. But so far, nobody's picked a movie. Um, so Steve helped me out, and he picked A Night to Dismember, which if you've never seen this movie, oh boy. Yeah, not a good movie, doesn't entirely make sense, but I thought what better way to kick off movie roulette and maybe show people how this is going to go, um, so that maybe other people will want to choose a movie for me to review. Okay. So you're guaranteed if you give a $5 super chat or more and give me a movie to watch. I don't care if 10 people do it. I don't care if 15 people do it. Eventually, I will review your movie. Okay. So I think that's all the updates. Other than the Deadites on Deck horror shop at deaditesondeck.com is now back live. I have fixed my domain issue, got my domain renewed. So you will no longer see that ugly splash page. You should be able to get to deaditesondeck.com with no problem. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get to these movies. And I'm just going to do them in order of the release date. So we're going to kick this off with Dementia 13, which came out in 1963, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. I believe it might have been Francis Ford Coppola's first film. I could be wrong on that, but I was thinking that it was. It's produced by Roger Corman. You can watch it in a black and white version or a colorized version. I prefer to watch this in the black and white version, but I have seen the color version as well. So either one, I think both are available on YouTube. All right, thank you, Menelek. Thank you for the. You didn't have to give another super chat. You know, I would have accepted that the last time you gave $7, but thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So I'm going to write that down. So let's see. Give me just 1 second here, gang. Well, that pen is not wanting to work for me very good, but there we go. So it'll be good to go back and watch Signs again. I haven't seen Signs in a while. So thank you again, Melek. Thank you for the super chat and also for picking a movie. Hopefully I can get both Signs and Night to Dismember both watched and do a double bill on the premiere episode of Movie Roulette. So stay tuned for that, folks. But out of the 3 movies that I watched this evening, Dementia 13 is my all-time favorite. I love Dementia 13. Now you're thinking, some of you are probably thinking, 1963, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's going to be good. Trust me, folks, when this thing kicks into high gear with the axe murders, this movie is as good, in my opinion, as anything to come out of the late 70s into the 80s as far as slasher films. Some people might not think it's gory enough. But I think it's just right, like the Goldilocks coming into the 3 bears house, and she, has tried all the beds and find the one that's just right. Well, with Dementia 13, everything just seems to fall into place. Everything fits. All the puzzle pieces fit together. And it's a mystery too, of course. Where, I'm not going to give away who the killer is, but this movie basically tells the story of, I think of the main woman, I think her name's Louise, as a gold digger. So she's married to a rich guy with a heart problem, and he wants to go out in the boat at the beginning of the film, and he's telling her, if something happens to me and I die, um, you're not going to stand a chance in getting any of my inheritance from my mother. And so he proceeds to have a heart attack right in front of Louise. And what does Louise do? She just dumps him out of the boat, and goes back to um, the castle where her husband's mother lived, um, or lives rather. And she writes a note, or types up a note, and looks at John's signature. That's her now deceased husband, and copies his as best she can. And it basically says he had to go back to New York on business, I'm guessing. And she packs some clothes and other things that he would take on a trip, and puts them in a suitcase, and dumps it in the lake as well. Um, Hoping that nobody will be the wiser, I guess. So there's another part to this puzzle. They keep talking about Kathleen, who died when she was a young girl. And we find out that she drowned. And, you get little parts of the mystery, little puzzle pieces as it goes along. And people start getting attacked by someone with an axe. And I just think this is fantastic, a fantastic movie. I think Coppola did an amazing job with this. Like I said, I think it was just gory enough. The creep factor is really good in this. It's not very long. It's about an hour and 14 minutes long, so it's not long at all. You could, spend a Sunday watching it or something like that. So, um, again, I'm not going to give away the killer, because there may be those of you that either are watching this now or watch it on the replay that have never seen Dementia 13. And I believe there's a remake of Dementia 13, but I'm not really interested in watching that. I'll stick with the 1963 Francis Ford Coppola classic, in my opinion. But I'll go ahead and give this my review, according to the Deadites rating scale. And I'm going to give this one 5 Deadites out of 5. Highly, highly, highly recommend Dementia 13. And Dementia 13 does not take place in Ireland. The next 2 films I'm going to talk about take place in Ireland. But this is an Irish family in Dementia 13. So just keep that in mind for any of you that think, well, why is she covering Dementia 13? That doesn't take place in Ireland. All right. So the next film, which I thought I had seen and has a connection with Clive Barker, who I think wrote the story. Rawhead Rex, I thought I had seen many, many moons ago, but upon watching it, I discovered, nope, I ain't seen this one. So Rawhead Rex came out in 1986. And yeah, it's a little goofy, a little hokey. The creature, who's supposed to be some kind of devil, I believe, um, looks kind of hokey by today's standards. But it was still a fun little ride. And it was, they didn't shy away from killing kids in this. They didn't really show the aftermath of killing kids, but you got a pretty good idea of what happened to this one poor boy. Um, So you have a man near the beginning of the film who I don't know why, but he's trying to. I guess he's trying to get this big rock, this big stone out of his field, and a couple of guys that he knows are trying to help him, and then they finally give up and go away. And he keeps, messing with the stone, and then all of a sudden, it's like almost like a lightning bolt hits it, and this creature comes out of it. Rawhead Rex comes out of the stone. And I believe what happened is many, many centuries ago, this creature was um, taken down and buried under the stone. So when this guy starts messing with it, he breaks free and he starts, you know, causing havoc during or in this little Irish village, um, killing kids and teenagers and uh, adults, all cutting off their heads and stuff like that. So it's pretty gory and bloody. I just thought the creature was a little hokey, probably in a story. The way Clive Barker had written it, it probably was a lot better. Um, I think they showed it up close too much. I think that was probably one of the drawbacks of it. So that's the basic storyline of Rawhead Rex. Hey, Phil, that's the basic storyline of Rawhead Rex. Um, this one, I don't see myself jumping right back in there and watching it again. I may, wait a while and watch it again. Um, it was enjoyable enough, but not enough for me to give it a 4 or 5 deadites. So I'm going to give Rawhead Rex from 1986 3 deadites, possibly 3.5 out of 5. Okay. And if I did add that half, it'd probably be for the special effects, which were pretty bloody. Um, so the last film I want to talk about, I had never seen. Hey, Blissful. Came out in 2004, and it's called Dead Meat. Uh, really, it's a zombie film. And I see a lot of inspiration taken from George Romero's Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead films in particular, or that film in particular. Um, I also see maybe some Evil Dead references thrown in there. So it's a cool little story. I don't like all films from the 2000s, but this one was a decent one. The acting was a little, iffy in parts. But what it concerns basically is, yeah, I thought it was a little hokey film, Rawhead Rex, especially the creature. Um, but to get back to Dead Meat, you have this little Irish village, and it basically concerns a version of mad cow disease. Because this farmer, why I don't know, I don't think this is ever explained. Maybe he was cheap and didn't want to buy food for his cattle, and he was feeding his cattle dead animals. And so they got infected with some sort of mad cow disease and started attacking humans. And then it turned the humans into zombies. And, well, we know what happens when people turn into zombies. So if you get bit by a zombie, uh, generally you're going to end up turning into a zombie, right? So we also have plenty of, zombies getting shovels into their heads and stuff like that. Typical kind of like George Romero type of zombie and zombie lore, from the days that Romero was making zombie films. Um, I enjoyed it. Had a lot of gore and blood and zombies galore, just like in the Unlucky Irish song that I had at the beginning of the stream. Um, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I probably liked it second after Dementia 13, and Rawhead Rex, of course, is third. If I had to put these in order the way I liked them. Um, so definitely, I would encourage you to watch Dead Meat. Um, Steve actually had to download a copy for me to watch. None of these movies are very long. I think Rawhead Rex might be the longest at an hour and 29 minutes, but none of them are like super long. Um, Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to watch them all of the night, I'm sure. Um, but I really enjoyed Dead Meat. It did show up on YouTube for free last night. I don't know what happened. I don't know how a 2004 movie would just, that they would take that down after all this time. But anyway, I am going to give Dead Meat 4 deadites out of 5. This one was a decent little zombie movie. Oh, it also had kind of shades at the beginning of Children of the Corn, and if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about there, or I think you will. Um, so that is my 3 Irish horror films. If you don't want to watch those pesky leprechaun films for St. Patrick's Day, here's 3 different ones that you may not even thought about watching for St. Patrick's Day. I almost said Valentine's Day. I don't know. My brain is mush. Um, but I guess that's it. I want to thank all of you guys and gals that were in the chat. I want to thank everybody that watched along but maybe wasn't in the chat. And I want to thank everybody in advance that will watch this on the replay. And I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday night, folks. We're edging ever closer to the weekend with each day this week. And next week, I am on vacation and I'm looking forward to it. And so is Steve. Uh, Hi and bye, Phil. Yeah. Uh, Thanks for stopping in, Phil, Blissful, Menelec, Greg. I appreciate it so much. I love to have people in the chat to interact with. And with that being said, I'm out of here for the night, but I'll see everybody next time.